Good morning and welcome to another one of Andrew's Book Reviews. So today I am reviewing Virtual Heaven by Taylor Cole. So Taylor is a self-published author. First off, I just want to start by thanking you, Taylor, for sending me a copy of your book. I really appreciate it and welcome the opportunity to read your book and help you out as an author who's just starting on his career of writing. So thank you so much for that, Taylor. Do appreciate it. Absolutely. And I want to say that I am very glad that you wrote this book. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a fantastic book. So the whole concept behind this storyline is taking virtual reality to the next level. So this technology is created that allows us to immerse our consciousness into these new worlds that are being created through this virtual reality program, which is just basically it's just called the lobby, and everything becomes so real, and we literally transfer our entire consciousness, mind, body, and soul into the story, into the virtual reality that has been created here. So this technology ends up sweeping the world. It goes global, and you've got these virtual reality playgrounds set up across the planet. But it's soon discovered that if you die while in the program, your consciousness remains alive within the program, and it essentially achieves immortality, where you could live in this perfect virtual existence where there's no pain, there's no suffering. You could live an eternity of happiness and bliss. Literally a virtual heaven, as the title of the book suggests. And so this begins sweeping the world in mass epidemics of suicide, people desperate to get to this heaven and achieve that immortality that comes with that. So along with that, of course, has religious fervor behind it. So we've got the opposition from the religious of the world, primarily focusing on what it would be for Christian and Muslim opposition to this technology. The idea that you're creating a false heaven and trapping your soul on earth and not being able to proceed and go on to live in God's grace or will. So it becomes this symbol and sign of evilness, spawning homegrown terrorist groups. The group within this book specifically called the Lord's Thorn, which uses their own ideology, their own Christian fundamentalism to basically take over the virtual heaven or the lobby for themselves in an effort to destroy this technology. So we definitely have that well-built ideals of conflict between the religious fundamentalism and the modern technological capabilities of the modern world, and how that technology could actually affect and influence our society, and how that, if not controlled, if not used properly, could actually be a mechanism for destruction of society, not just in terms of the technology taking over our lives, but also in the sense of creating that division between the religious and the technological advancement. So overall, I thought that interplay worked well within this book, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed how that played out, and how the storyline contributed to an overall idea of how this could actually lead, within the concept of the book, of course, to international global warfare, as different countries seek to have different controls or agendas over this technology and how it's to be used and how it can work for their citizens. I have to say, I really like how within the book you even got a little bit of that numerology and those special sacred magical numbers that we find throughout religious books and texts, such as 42 and 7 and 6 and 666. I love how he uses the subtle interplay of that numerology from both the occult world and religious text, and the influence of that within those societies kind of nudged in there without too much emphasis on it, but just in a way to kind of set the tone for the book, especially at the beginning, and I really like that aspect of it. Thought that worked really well. Also, our primary character, Alex, Cutler. I love the contrast that Taylor set up here between Alex and his wife. So on the one hand, you have Alex, who's basically the founder of this technology, or rather the one who becomes the face of the company that invented this technology, who is out there actively promoting it and selling this technology and this experience to others, as far as creating your own little mini vacation virtual reality world, which inevitably leads to a virtual heaven. Well, his wife, who is a character of, you know, strong Christian values and religious belief, who is adamantly opposed to this virtual heaven and this technology. So we see the interplay between the two. And on the one hand, you got Alex, who's becoming basically addicted and spending too much time within the virtual heaven himself, versus his wife, who is trying to work to undermine and stop the addictive nature and get rid of this technology. She sees it as a bad thing. So we got the world, who's got the two sides to this, those who support and those who oppose, and then within Alex's own world, he's got that parallel, which I think is a fantastic literary device that really works to enhance the story overall. I do have some criticism, though, within this book. Well, I love the concept of the religious fundamentalism versus the technological advancement in the secular world, which is definitely a contrast that plays up in the modern world and our reality as we see it now, for sure. But the one drawback I have is that the storyline of FBI Special Agent Andrews, he comes at this also from a religious opposition, which I think does not add to the story. I thought that his particular storyline within this book could have been taken out entirely, and it would not have affected the outcome, the effectiveness of the story at all. Especially because acting as a government agent, he's using religious ideology and feelings in an effort to advance his cause through the use of the government agency, which I thought would have worked well in a dystopian type future with a theocratic government, absolutely, but not in a secular setting of the US or American government, which I thought the story set up quite well. Any number of reasons why the US government and US officials and organizations like the CIA and the FBI could use to oppose this technology, um, just as they do the drug war, not on religious principles, but on the addictive nature and destructive nature of the technology and the corrupt nature of the technology and how it corrupts people. So for him to use Agent Andrew's story as a method to expand the religious aspect of the opposition, I thought really kind of failed in that respect. It's not really important to a story, or rather, I don't think it fit properly within the story from a government agency perspective. The rest of the religious opposition from the theocratic nations of the Middle East with Islamic Muslim nations made perfect sense and worked really well. The homegrown terrorist group, the Lord's Thorn, worked really well. Alex Cutler's wife being the Christian religious individual that she was, her opposition for her religious and moral grounds worked really well. Just not in the case of Agent Andrews within the book. So that is the one criticism that I would have, that I think it really didn't fit well within the story. But overall, I have to say, I really super enjoyed this book. Just fantastic, and I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to read it and give my review on this. So I want to thank you again, Taylor, for sending me a copy of your book. I really look forward to your next book. I think you've proven that you not only got potential, but if you keep this up, I'm confident you can make it to a bestsellers list one day. This is just a really well written, well thought out story, and I really, really enjoyed it. Especially your aspects of the, being critical of the government, not trusting them, and how they interfere and intervene within the lives of people who are trying to do better for the world. That idea within the book was certainly strongly present as well, and just overall a great, great read. I really enjoyed it. So thank you for sending me a copy, and I hope you enjoyed this review. So if you like, don't forget to comment or share this review. Now, the next one is going to take a while, of course. It will be Brandon Sanderson's Oathbringer. A little more than 1,000 pages in this one, so it'll be a while to get through that, but look forward to reading it, so definitely stay tuned. And again, thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Hope you have yourself a fantastic day. And thanks for watching. And of course, my Twitter feed, Facebook page, all that good stuff will be in the description below. And you have yourself a great day. Thanks again for watching.